every month, right? It's like, okay, yes, we're getting a lot of leads from referrals, but that part of you goes, okay, what happens when that slows down, right? Okay,
Mm,
referrals are down. Maybe, XYZ didn't, pull in as many new patients
mhm.
as you thought it would. So
Yeah.
I felt like I was just on this constant, like, the highs are super high. And then, like, if you're not on the
Mhm.
high, it is like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen, right? Mentally, I need to get to a place where I know there's going to be highs, I know there's going to be lows, but how do I
Yeah.
maintain this? I needed something where it was like, okay, it needs to be supportive
Yeah.
in keeping me here rather than up and down. We were averaging, I think, just right around 19 to 20 new patients a month. And so I had heard through a couple different other, couple other docs and colleagues that, everyone's raving about Chiro Jump and what they do. And honestly, I didn't know. I'm like, gosh, but is my office, can we do that,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I didn't know how that would work. Like, we're pediatrics, we're pregnancy. How does that work? I mean, honestly, when ads went live, it was, when I say wild, I mean that in like an understatement, like the best wild, right? But like, I literally thought our email was spammed. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. We're hiring another team member. We haven't even been open a year yet, and the numbers we're hitting, I should say, we've scheduled 107 new patients. In the first 7 weeks, we've spent 2,357 in ad spend, which I know that's where everybody's head usually goes, right? Is, well, how much did you pay for them to get in there? In total, we've collected, signed on to care, 35,907. For the month of January, we processed 78 new patients. Which
Dang.
again, yes, that was
That's
wild. Those were long
crazy.
days. Those were long days. I know. I was just telling my mentor in Minnesota what we did. He's like, "How did you do that? There's two of you." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, but we did it. Yeah, we collected just like right at 50,000.
Let's go. So from
Yeah,
20, 26, 27K a
yeah,
month to 50K in like
yeah.
1 month.
In 4 weeks, what we've done thus far completely crushed what I had set for 3 years.
Come on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, is this a fever dream? We are
Yeah.
located in Texas, just outside of Austin, in a small town called Bastrop. And yeah, my first name is Connor, and we just opened. We've been open for less than a year. So when I started working with Chiro Jump, our office at that time, I think, had been open for 7 months.
Let's go. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Walk me through the situation before. So what were like the first 7 months like, and walk me through some of the
Yeah.
where things were at.
So honestly, the first 7 months of opening was much smoother than I anticipated. And I attribute a lot of that to some great mentors I had previously. But then I kind of hit a point where, okay, what's next, right? I knew where we were
Mm,
at. How do we grow this thing? That's, when people set out, it's how do you reach more people?
let's go.
Yeah.
What was so things like even before we started working together, what was like the how are you guys doing? Because I know there was a lot of craziness just with the ups and downs and how that was affecting you, leading
Yes.
to like the whole job search and other things going on. Could you like walk through like the before behind the scenes of what was
Yeah.
going on with you guys
Yeah.
personally?
So I think like opening, right? I'd
Yeah.
never done this before, right? So I would hope a lot of other business owners are like, yeah, I've been there, right? Um, every month, right? It's like, okay, yes, we're getting a lot of leads from referrals, but that part of you goes, okay, what happens when that slows down, right? Okay,
Mm,
referrals are down. Maybe, XYZ didn't, pull in as many new patients
mhm.
as you thought it would. So
Yeah.
I felt like I was just on this constant, like, the highs are super high. And then, like, if you're not on the
Mhm.
high, it is like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Right. When
Yeah.
in reality, like, it's not like that, but it's easy to get caught up in that. So that was probably one of
Mhm.
the biggest things that I was searching for is, okay, mentally, I need to get to a place where I know there's going to be highs, I know there's going to be lows, but how do I
Yeah.
maintain this? And don't get me wrong, we celebrate the wins, obviously, and reflect on the losses, but I needed something where it was like, okay, it needs to be supportive
Yeah.
in keeping me here rather than up and down. And that
Yeah.
has definitely helped a ton, whether, yeah, mentally, emotionally. Honestly, the care that I give, right? It's, yeah, I feel like I can detach from the stuff that's happening outside of.
Mm. Yeah, like what's going on with the business revenue
For sure.
while you're with patients.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
which is huge. I love to be able to focus, like this is the craft, this is what we enjoy doing. And so to know that I can dive more into that in the adjusting rooms,
Yeah.
and that's really what I want, and I want to continue
Yeah.
with.
So kind of like leaning into before everything, like walk me through some of the impact. I know you guys had been almost plateauing for some time. You were doing, I think, more consistently around 20K a month, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
we were just slowly like starting to bump up to that like 25, 26 the last couple months. And so our
yeah,
goal was like, hey, if we can bump this thing to, a little over 30, 35, we'd feel really good about
yeah,
that.
yeah. And what were some of the impact like for you personally? Because I know Allison is about to go and have to get another full-time job, and you guys like
Yeah.
literally in this process. Could you walk through some of that situation and what was going on there?
Yeah, I think like some of the biggest takeaways are like before things get, and it's in everything, right? Like it's in life, it's in business and all the things. It's like in your mind you make up like this is what you can take on, right? But then when you're put in
Hmm.
it, it's like, okay, what happens? Like it's the power of one, right? Like what happens when we can see one more family? What happens when we can see one more kiddo who, is having a hard time going to the bathroom, right? It's the
Hmm.
bigger picture of all of these one mores. And I think that's what happens when you guys come in is you're pushing us to that next level of, okay,
Mm,
here's one more here, here's one more there. And
yeah,
then eventually, right now it's like, yes, we're in a little bit smaller town. We're not maybe in the biggest city, but like word travels fast, right?
yeah,
And it's just, that one family member, and now it's their spouse, now it's their sister. And I think
yeah,
that's the most fun because in my opinion, when people heal, right, you obviously need to put yourself in a healing environment. And so I think naturally
yeah,
when someone in the family's healing, and then now mom, dad are healing,
yeah.
sisters, brothers, doesn't matter. I think that's been probably like the biggest takeaway and the most fun is
Mm,
like just reminding ourselves like one more,
yeah,
right? What impact are we chasing? And like I'm a firm believer that healthy parents raise healthy kids, and that's how we have that thriving community. And that's what we're really after.
yeah.
And so I had heard through a couple different other, couple other docs and colleagues that, everyone's raving about Chiro Jump and what they do. And honestly, I didn't know. I'm like, gosh, but is my office, can we do that?
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
I didn't know how that would work. Like we're pediatrics, we're pregnancy. How does that work? And fast forward to today, it's been literally the best decision that our office could have ever made.
come on, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's,
But what were your thoughts initially when we started talking and like started getting on
yeah.
linked up and yeah.
Um, Funny. So, yeah, to be honest, I was a little on the edge, right? Like, not edge, but more hesitant. Not because of you guys,
Mhm.
right? More so, I just had worked at an office previously. We had done some meta ads, and just wasn't the greatest experience.
Yeah.
And it's the classic, obviously. Not you guys don't do the same things. It's just like my great experience. Of course, I was a little hesitant. So my first chat with you. I was like, okay, Chris, you're winning me over here, right? But just to know, like, you guys are so different, right? Like what you're doing, it's not just about ads, it's the growing, it's the coaching, it's all these things. And I think you see it in the sense of what are our goals, right? What you guys put together
Mm,
for us is for our team to get where we want to be, right? And
yeah.
that biggest thing when we started was how do I maintain mentally here instead of up top and down below? And
Hmm.
that was the biggest thing that it was like, this isn't just about getting new patients in the door. It was how can we
Yeah.
help you be better up top?
Yeah.
I think that's what really stood out to me the most was, this isn't just about, yes, you want your numbers to go higher and all the other things, but you guys saw like what I needed. And that's really what sets you apart, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What was like the first inclination that gave you that feeling? Like what was the first thing that happened that got you thinking in that way?
Oh, that's a good question. I think on our first or second call, Chris, I think just like the
Hmm.
type of questions you were asking of just what's your goal, right? Like, and it's
Yeah.
easy to be like, well, I want to hit this number. Okay, but why?
Yeah.
Why is it important, right? Is it because then you can hire somebody? Is it because
Mm.
mentally it's better, right? Like, why is that important? And I think you helped us like peel back the layers quite a bit there to understand.
Yeah.
You're right. Why is that important? What am I going to get out of when
Yeah,
we hit the
totally.
number? How does that impact me? How does that impact our staff? What happens? Why is this number so important? Versus when I think when you open and it's like, I just have to hit these numbers. That's just how it is, right? Um, so,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say it's just like you helping me just take a deeper dive at what I needed as a
Yeah.
business owner, but also as a chiropractor.
Walk me through some of the numbers. What were things like before we met? What was like, where was the practice at? Were you guys
Yes.
growing? How are things looking?
So before bringing you guys on, gosh, our highest patient month for sign-ons, we were averaging I think just right around 19 to 20 new patients a month. Which honestly, as opening, I was very pleased with that, right?
Yeah.
Our highest collections was just a little over 31,000 at the time. Right now, what we've hit our highest patient sign on for a month is 44.
Let's
And we
go.
our
Yeah.
first 50K month, which
Yeah.
my goals, what my expectations, I was not expecting that. So it's been, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been a lot of hard work, but that's what you sign up for, right? And that's what
Yeah.
we want. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. And the people coming through our doors, not only are we hitting these numbers, but our practice
Mm.
is being filled with really great people, right? It's not
Let's
just like,
go.
"These
Yeah.
numbers are growing. It's no, but your practice is filled with great people. And
Yeah.
that's a bigger piece of it. That's what I want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And can you actually share this story? Because I remember when we first started talking,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, Allison's looking for another job. She's been working here for the last 7 months or whatever amount of time it
Yes.
was. And you're like, okay, now she's gonna look for a job. And it was
Yeah.
like, why don't we just try and make it so she doesn't have to look for another job? And she's like in the middle of the interview process. She's like getting
Yeah.
the role. Walk me through that whole story.
Okay, so yeah, when we opened, right, she had started and just like trying to figure out, what's best for us outside of work financially, right?
Yeah.
We needed obviously like everybody else stability, right? When you open, you don't know what you're bringing home, what you're not bringing home, and so we were like, okay. Even though things were going really, really good, we were just to a crossing point of let's have you go somewhere else and we will hire someone. We'll kind of
Yeah.
just restart almost, right? Um,
Yeah.
and so our goal was that was the plan all along. And then ads went live and that changed. Right? We had a big December, which also was like, okay, what are we doing? We don't need to do that.
Mm.
And then yeah, ads went live and
Hmm.
it's history.
And so what did she do with the whole role?
So yeah, so now we're hiring another front desk to be supportive
Yeah.
to because yeah, it's just yeah, we are spread too thin right now, which is a great problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
So,
What can you walk me through actually like where you're out at now, how things have shifted, like really going into as much detail as you can on the whole process. I remember I spoke to you on the phone a little bit ago,
mhm.
and it was like first few weeks after ads, and you're like, things are just so swamped. I don't even know what day it is. Uh,
Yes. Oh my gosh, goodness. So yeah, I mean, honestly, when ads went live, it was when I say wild, I mean that in like an understatement. Like the best wild, right? But like I literally thought our email was spammed. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I would like run to the front. I'm like, Allison, are you getting all these emails or are these tests, right? Because it was just like one after another. I know I literally like day number 8, I think I sat down and was like, okay, what honestly, like what did I just do? We're going to be able to keep up. So for the first solid, I mean, it's we're getting more efficient, which has been great, right? It's
mhm.
been a test for what we can handle. How do we be more efficient? But for for the first 6-7 weeks, it was 12-hour days every single day. We were coming in on Sundays. All day Fridays. So we really had to just go from like bookend to bookend,
Yeah.
which has been great. And obviously, it's like it's a season. It's not going to be like that forever. We need to have
Hmm.
that life work balance, but to get things rolling and get more obviously of like the market share is
Yeah.
huge. And like I said,
Yeah.
for us to be filling our office with great people,
Hmm.
that in itself is amazing, right? Like I
Yeah.
know when you hear sometimes it's easy to, like when you hear statistics with anything, right? And maybe not just chiropractic, but
Yeah.
you think about like followers on an Instagram page, right? And it's like, oh my goodness, you have 10 million followers, but it's like, what are the quality of those people?
Mm.
And the same thing, it's like when we look at our patient visits per week, we are at an awesome spot that I'm very happy with, and the people that are coming through our
Yeah.
door are great people, right? It's the classic. I get caught talking too long because I genuinely care about these people too much, right? So it's just been, yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. Let's go. Can you walk me through some of the numbers?
I have the numbers right in front of me. We've processed 107. Well, I should say we've scheduled 107 new patients. In the first 7 weeks, we've spent 2,357 in ad spend, which I know that's where everybody's head usually goes, right? Is, well, how much did you pay for them to get in there? In total, we've collected, signed on to care, 35,907. For the month of January, we processed 78 new patients. Which
Dang.
again, yes, that was
That's
wild. Those were long
crazy.
days. Those were long days. I know. I was just telling my mentor in Minnesota what we did. He's like, "How did you do that? There's 2 of you." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, but we did it."
What was revenue last month?
Yeah, we collected just like right at 50,000.
Let's go. So from
Yeah,
20, 26, 27K a
yeah,
month to 50K in like
yeah.
1 month.
In 4 weeks. We're hiring another team member. We haven't even been open a year yet, and the numbers we're hitting. I honestly, when I set our goals for, okay, what do I want to see in a year? What do I want to see in 3 years? What do I want to see in 5 years? Right? What we've done thus far completely crushed what I had set for 3 years.
Come on. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, is this a fever dream?
Yeah. That's funny. Could you share a little bit more about your experience with us? Like a little bit more on like the ways we've been able to help you outside of obviously just like the marketing side?
Yeah. Yeah. I think like going back to when we started, like what set you guys apart, right? In understanding, like I felt like you guys wanted to help me, yes, as a clinician, but also as an entrepreneur, as a human, right? And I think through the whole process with outside of the marketing, it's been the helping me, like we've had a couple different things come up, right? Like does our front desk go get another job, right? Do we keep them on? Well,
Mm.
what are the benefits of them staying? What are the downfalls of them leaving? Is it worth
Yeah.
doing that? So just to
Yeah.
have another sounding board is
Mm.
huge in people that understand and honestly shoot it to you straight, right? Like I don't want to be mentored or coached by someone that's a yes man, right? And is always like, yeah,
Mm.
perfect, that sounds good, right? You guys have a really good way about going, listen first and then, okay, well, I get what you're saying, but here's what we recommend. And I think that's important because there's definitely been some things where you guys have challenged me in a good way, and it's definitely pushed me outside of my comfort zone, which of course is never easy, but when you're on the other side of it, you're like, yes, I'm so glad they did that.
Yeah.
So things like that, and just the accountability side of it as well, whether it's the weekly check-ins or just, things you guys be checking in via Slack on just like things that maybe don't even like relate to chiropractic care. Like I know since we've been working together, we had just some things pop up in care that I expressed to you and JoJo that like kind of hit me a different way than I thought it was going to. And like for
Yeah.
you guys to have the, put business aside and just like be genuine, that really is what sets you guys apart. You guys do
Yeah.
great work, of course. But it's like we want to work with people that are also good humans, right? And you guys
Yeah.
crush it. And like I
Yeah.
think I mean I really don't think anybody else could get 107 new patients scheduled, but but if they did, right, at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
like you want to work with good people and you guys crush it.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means a ton, and that's the biggest focus. It not honestly, the results don't matter
Yeah.
if it's at the expense of, like, pursuing the things in the ways that we need to, loving on people and really pursuing honestly, like, pursuing Jesus, number 1, but
Yeah.
loving on people, really,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, it's just so big. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Of course.
Um, is there anything else you'd wanna share with someone who's watching this is like, "Hey, do I take the next steps?" What else? Any other
Yeah.
info you could share?
Do it. Like, gosh, like I feel like I was playing center field for so long. So, gosh, we started in January. My colleague told
Mhm.
me about you guys in October. And I was like,
Mm,
I don't know. Right. Like things are like in business was good. Right. Like it had been.
yeah.
So I was like, I don't think we need that right now. And then they reached out to me again in November. I'm like, what in the world? Right. Like, no, we're good. We're good. Right. And then the more I got thinking into it, I was like, all right, I think it won't hurt to just reach out and learn more, right? And now I feel like every friend that I talk to that is in the part of like how do we grow, I am like Chiro Jump. I literally am screaming it to people, just because it's everything you get with it, and I totally get the feeling of, well, what if it doesn't work? Okay, classic. But what if
Mm.
it does work? You know, golly, like I think that's just how we are as humans. That's how we process, right? Like, what if it doesn't work? I'm investing XYZ. It's at the end of the day, but what if it does work? And then that's with everything that we do in life. We fall so, in my opinion, we fall so much on the negative side, but it's like we
Mm,
leaned into it. I'm trusting the process, and it's the best thing that could have
yeah,
happened to us.
let's
So,
go. Let's go.
what? Oh, what
Yes,
if
if you're
it does?
watching this,
Yes.
yeah, what if it does work? I love it.
Yeah.